Good morning / afternoon / evening, everyone. Today, I want to share with you something truly transformative. We live in a world where desires are endless, but clarity, discipline, and understanding of how to achieve those desires are rare. Have you ever wondered why some people achieve whatever they set their minds to, while others feel stuck, frustrated, or lost? The answer lies not in luck or privilege, but in applying timeless principles to your life. Shi Heng Yi, a respected Shaolin Master, has dedicated years to distilling life's complex struggles into simple, actionable truths. These are not just philosophical ideas. These are practical principles forged through discipline, tested through adversity, and refined through generations. Today, we're going to dive into 10 powerful principles. And from these, I'll break down 7 key insights that will help you unlock your potential and get whatever you want in life, whether it's personal growth, success, peace of mind, or happiness. One of the most fundamental reasons why people fail to achieve their goals is a lack of clarity. Shi Heng Yi emphasizes that before you even take your first step toward achieving something, you must have absolute clarity about what you want. Imagine trying to hit a target with a bow and arrow while blindfolded. No matter how much strength you have, no matter how many arrows you fire, you will miss every single time if you don't know where the target is. That's exactly how life works. If your mind is clouded with vague desires like, I want to be successful, or I want to be happy, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. These are abstract, undefined concepts. What does success mean to you? Is it financial independence, career recognition, physical health, emotional peace, or something else entirely? What does happiness look like in your daily life? Is it spending more time with family, traveling the world, mastering a skill, or living in a peaceful environment? Shi Heng Yi often teaches that clarity is the foundation of action. Without it, you'll drift from one idea to another, constantly distracted, easily discouraged, and highly vulnerable to external opinions. You'll find yourself following trends, chasing what others want, and ignoring your own authentic desires. Clarity filters out distractions and focuses your mental and emotional energy on a single direction. Let's go even deeper. Clarity doesn't just involve defining your goals. It requires emotional connection. It's not enough to say, I want a better job. You need to ask yourself, why do I want a better job? What specific role, salary, work environment, and growth opportunity am I seeking? How will I feel when I wake up every morning and go to this job? How will this new job impact my lifestyle, relationships, and self-esteem? By answering these questions, you start building an emotional map that connects your logical goal with your emotional drive. This emotional clarity increases your motivation to take action and persist through obstacles. Another critical layer of clarity involves visualization. Shi Heng Yi encourages the practice of mental visualization. Close your eyes and picture the exact outcome you desire. See it in detail. Where are you? Who's with you? What are you wearing? What sounds are around you? What emotions are you experiencing? This practice programs your subconscious mind to focus on opportunities and actions that align with your goal. When your mind is clearly focused on a specific vision, it begins to filter your reality. You'll notice people, resources, and moments that were always there but previously overlooked. Furthermore, clarity creates internal alignment. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions start moving in the same direction. There's less inner conflict, less hesitation, and more momentum. When your mind says go, your body follows without resistance. Lastly, clarity helps you measure progress. If you don't know where you're going, how will you know when you've arrived? With a clear goal, you can track small victories along the way, celebrate progress, and adjust your approach when needed. In short, clarity turns dreams into plans. It transforms invisible hopes into visible targets. It silences doubt, sharpens focus, and acts as your compass, guiding you through distractions, discouragement, and detours. Without clarity, you're just wandering. With clarity, you're on a mission. One of the most common traps people fall into when pursuing their goals is relying too heavily on motivation. Motivation feels good. It's that initial burst of energy you get when you watch an inspiring video, read an uplifting book, or listen to a powerful speaker like Shi Heng Yi. In that moment, you feel unstoppable. Your mind fills with possibilities. Your heart races with excitement. You're ready to conquer the world. But here's the harsh truth that Shi Heng Yi repeatedly emphasizes. Motivation is temporary. It's fleeting. It comes when conditions are right, but it disappears just as quickly when circumstances change. The excitement you feel today can vanish tomorrow after a bad night's sleep, a stressful day at work, or even a single discouraging comment from someone around you. That's where discipline steps in. Discipline is the muscle that keeps you moving forward when motivation disappears. It's the inner force that pushes you to act even when you don't feel like it. Shi Heng Yi often reminds his students that discipline is a skill, not a personality trait. You're not born with it, you build it. Just like physical muscles, discipline grows stronger the more you train it. Think about the Shaolin monks waking up at 4 a.m. to train, every single day, rain or shine, tired or rested, happy or upset. Do you think they're motivated every day? Absolutely not. But discipline doesn't ask how you feel. Discipline only asks what needs to be done. To develop discipline, you need to create systems and routines that make action non-negotiable. For example, set a specific time every day for your key task, whether it's exercise, study, business work, or meditation. Eliminate unnecessary decision-making by preparing in advance. Lay out your workout clothes, prepare your workspace, schedule your learning time. Start small. Shi Heng Yi often talks about the power of micro-commitments. Commit to just 5 minutes of action. Often, once you start, momentum builds naturally. Another crucial aspect is understanding that discipline is about consistency, not intensity. You don't need to do something huge every day. You need to show up every day, no matter how small the step. Small, repeated actions build habits. Habits, in turn, make discipline automatic. Also, discipline is not about punishing yourself. It's about honoring your long-term goals over short-term comfort. There will be days when you're tired, unmotivated, distracted, or stressed. On those days, discipline becomes your shield. It helps you stick to your path while others quit. Shi Heng Yi often shares that discipline also builds self-trust. Every time you follow through on a promise to yourself, no matter how small, you reinforce the belief that you are a person who takes action. Over time, this self-trust becomes unbreakable confidence. Furthermore, discipline frees you from emotional chaos. When you're disciplined, you don't make decisions based on your changing mood. You follow your plan. You stick to your routine. You respect your commitment. This removes mental noise and emotional hesitation. Lastly, building discipline changes your identity. At first, it's about doing, but over time, it becomes about being. You no longer say, "I'm trying to become disciplined." You say, "I am disciplined." This shift in identity makes future actions even easier. In the end, while motivation will come and go like the tide, discipline remains constant like the shore, giving you stability, direction, and the unstoppable ability to move closer to your goals, one step at a time. One of the most universal truths that Shi Heng Yi emphasizes in his teachings is that real growth, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, or spiritual, can only happen when we step beyond what feels comfortable and familiar. Comfort is seductive. It makes us feel safe, warm, and secure, but it also creates stagnation. Staying inside your comfort zone may protect you from immediate pain, but it also guarantees long-term regret and unfulfilled potential. Let's reflect on this deeply. Think about any personal breakthrough you've had in your life. Was it during a time when everything was easy and smooth, or did it come during moments of struggle, challenge, and discomfort? Shi Heng Yi reminds us that just like muscles need resistance to grow stronger, our character and capabilities develop only when we face and overcome discomfort. Discomfort wears many faces. It could be the physical discomfort of waking up early to train your body, the mental discomfort of learning a new skill that challenges your mind, the emotional discomfort of having difficult conversations or confronting personal weaknesses, the social discomfort of stepping into unknown environments, meeting new people, or speaking in public. But discomfort isn't the enemy. It's the invitation. It's the gatekeeper standing at the border between your current self and your future, more powerful self. Shi Heng Yi teaches that when you avoid discomfort, you're not avoiding pain, you're avoiding growth. Every time you choose to stay where it's easy, you're sending a message to your mind and body that you're satisfied with where you are. But when you voluntarily embrace discomfort, you trigger a transformation process inside you. Your mind becomes more resilient, your body adapts, your emotions become more stable, you become capable of handling more, doing more, and being more. Another important lesson is that discomfort builds emotional endurance. Life is unpredictable. Challenges will come whether you want them or not. Loss, failure, disappointment, rejection. When you've trained yourself to handle voluntary discomfort, you're far better prepared to handle involuntary discomfort when life throws it at you. Shi Heng Yi often gives the example of cold showers, intense martial arts training, or prolonged meditation sessions in uncomfortable positions, not because these things are enjoyable, but because they train the mind to stay calm under pressure. You learn to breathe through difficulty. You learn to stay focused when your body or emotions scream at you to quit. Another key point is that your threshold for discomfort expands with time. What feels unbearable today can become routine tomorrow. The human mind and body are adaptable. Every time you lean into discomfort, you're expanding your limits. Your comfort zone grows, and with it, your confidence grows too. You start seeing discomfort not as a threat, but as a signal. This is where the growth happens. Shi Heng Yi also encourages shifting your relationship with discomfort. Instead of labeling it as bad, start seeing it as feedback. Discomfort tells you that you're entering a new space, challenging old patterns, and breaking through limitations that have held you back for years. Moreover, embracing discomfort builds mental toughness. It teaches you how to stay composed, how to self-regulate your emotions, and how to remain action-oriented even when things get hard. The more you do it, the more you realize that discomfort is temporary, but the lessons and strength it gives you are permanent. In your pursuit of any goal, whether it's building a business, developing your body, mastering a craft, or healing emotionally, there will come moments when quitting feels easier than continuing. In those moments, Shi Heng Yi's wisdom reminds you the obstacle is the way. The struggle is part of the process. Discomfort is the teacher. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions are endless and our attention is pulled in 1,000 different directions, one of the most overlooked yet profoundly powerful principles that Shi Heng Yi teaches is the importance of mindfulness and awareness. We live most of our lives on autopilot. From the moment we wake up, our minds are bombarded with thoughts about what happened yesterday or worries about what might happen tomorrow. We rush through our days reacting to situations, constantly checking our phones, jumping from task to task, rarely stopping to fully experience the present moment. Shi Heng Yi often reminds us that this way of living leaves us disconnected, not just from the world around us, but also from ourselves. When you're not fully present, you miss opportunities, you make careless mistakes. You speak without thinking, you listen without understanding, you act without awareness. Mindfulness is the antidote to this chaos. It is the practice of intentionally bringing your full attention to the present moment, without judgment and without distraction. It's about being fully aware of what you're doing, what you're feeling, and what's happening around you, right here and right now. Let's break this down into simple examples. When you eat, eat mindfully. Notice the taste, texture, and smell of your food. Don't eat while scrolling your phone or watching TV. When you walk, walk mindfully. Feel your feet touching the ground. Notice the air, the sounds, the sensations around you. When you work, focus deeply on the task at hand. Don't bounce between emails, social media, and unrelated websites. When you speak to someone, give them your full attention. Listen not just to their words, but also to their tone, body language, and emotions. Shi Heng Yi often teaches that mindfulness is a form of mental training. Just like physical training for the body, it takes practice, it takes consistency, but the rewards are enormous. By cultivating mindfulness, you begin to notice your thoughts and emotional patterns before they control you. How often do we react emotionally, say things we regret, or make poor decisions simply because we weren't aware of what was going on inside us? Mindfulness gives you that critical pause between stimulus and response. It creates space for wiser choices. In the context of goal setting and personal growth, mindfulness helps you stay focused on the process, not just the outcome. Most people set a goal and become obsessed with the future result. They rush through their days, feeling stressed and impatient, always chasing the next milestone. But Shi Heng Yi teaches that success is not just reaching the finish line. It's about being present and engaged at every step of the journey. When you are mindful, your work becomes more meaningful, your relationships become deeper, your training becomes more effective, your learning becomes faster, your mental clarity improves dramatically. Mindfulness also strengthens your emotional resilience. When you're fully aware of your inner state, you can observe emotions like fear, frustration, or doubt without letting them control your actions. You learn to acknowledge them, breathe through them, and choose your response consciously. Shi Heng Yi often uses breathing exercises and meditation practices to build this skill. Even just 5 minutes of focused breathing can help center your mind, lower your stress levels, and bring you back to the present moment. Mindfulness also extends to how you perceive challenges. Instead of reacting with stress or avoidance, you learn to observe the situation calmly, assess your options clearly, and act with intention rather than impulse. Moreover, awareness enhances your ability to recognize self-sabotaging habits. For example, if you're procrastinating, mindfulness helps you catch that behavior early, before you waste hours. If you're falling into negative thought loops, awareness helps you redirect your focus toward positive, solution-oriented thinking. Shi Heng Yi emphasizes that true awareness isn't limited to meditation mats or quiet rooms. It's a way of living. It's about carrying presence into every aspect of your life, whether you're training, working, cooking, or simply breathing. Through mindfulness and awareness, you stop living like a passenger in your own life. You become the driver. You move through each moment with intention, clarity, and control. One of the most empowering yet challenging principles that Shi Heng Yi teaches is the concept of taking full responsibility for your life. This is not just a motivational slogan or a piece of feel-good advice. It is a radical, life-changing mindset that shifts the entire foundation of how you experience the world. Taking responsibility means accepting that everything you experience, your successes, your failures, your happiness, your struggles, is a direct or indirect result of your actions, decisions, mindset, and responses. This doesn't mean that life is always fair or that bad things won't happen to you without cause. Shi Heng Yi acknowledges that life is filled with unexpected events and hardship, loss, betrayal, economic downturns, health issues. But here's the truth he emphasizes over and over again. While you may not control every situation, you always control how you respond to it. When people avoid responsibility, they often fall into the blame cycle. They blame their parents, their boss, the government, society, the economy, bad luck, or even fate. Blaming feels comfortable because it shifts the burden away from yourself. It provides a short-term emotional escape from accountability. But in the long run, it keeps you powerless. When you blame, you give control of your life to outside forces. You remain stuck, bitter, and resentful, waiting for circumstances to change instead of creating change yourself. Shi Heng Yi's teaching on responsibility is direct. Stop waiting for rescue. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for someone to come and fix your life. Own your life. Own your choices. Own your results. Let's break this down with examples. If you're unhappy with your fitness level, take responsibility for your eating habits, exercise routines, and sleep patterns. If you're unsatisfied in your job, take responsibility for upskilling, networking, and looking for better opportunities. If your relationships are strained, take responsibility for how you communicate, how you listen, and how you show up for others. If you're feeling mentally stuck, take responsibility for your thought patterns, your self-talk, and the actions you're taking or not taking to move forward. Responsibility is not about guilt. It's not about beating yourself up for past mistakes. It's about recognizing that you have the power to shape your present and your future, starting from this moment onward. Shi Heng Yi often uses martial arts as a metaphor for this principle. In training, when you fall down, your master doesn't run over to pick you up and comfort you. You're expected to get up on your own, learn from the mistake, and keep moving. Why? Because life won't always offer a helping hand. You need to build that internal resilience, that inner strength, that capacity to rise after every fall. Taking responsibility also means accepting that change is your job. No one else can want your growth more than you. No one else can build your discipline for you. No one else can make decisions for your future. The sooner you embrace this truth, the faster you reclaim control over your destiny. Another powerful aspect Shi Heng Yi emphasizes is emotional responsibility. You can't control how others behave, but you can control how you react. Instead of saying, "They made me angry," shift to, "I allowed myself to feel angry." Instead of saying, "They made me feel small," shift to, "I chose to give away my power in that moment." This shift in language and mindset transforms you from a victim of circumstances into a creator of your own reality. And taking responsibility doesn't mean you have to do it all alone. It's perfectly fine to seek help, ask for guidance, or build a support system. But even then, it's your responsibility to take the first step. It's your responsibility to seek solutions, apply the advice, and stay committed to the process. Shi Heng Yi also teaches that responsibility extends to your thoughts and beliefs. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed," it's your responsibility to challenge and change those narratives. You are the gatekeeper of your mind. Whatever you allow to grow inside it will eventually manifest in your life. In short, embracing responsibility is both liberating and empowering. It puts the steering wheel of life back into your hands. It pushes you to become proactive rather than reactive. It turns you from a passive observer of life into an active participant, fully engaged in shaping your journey. One of the most underestimated yet critically important principles that Shi Heng Yi emphasizes is the management of your energy. Many people focus on managing their time or organizing their schedules, but they completely overlook their energy levels, the very fuel that drives every action, decision, and thought throughout the day. Shi Heng Yi teaches that your energy is your most precious resource. Without it, even the best plans will fail. Even the clearest intentions and most disciplined routines will collapse if you don't have the physical and mental vitality to carry them out. Success, growth, creativity, and resilience all require energy, sustained, high-quality energy. Let's break this down further. Energy isn't just physical. It exists in multiple dimensions. Physical energy, your body's stamina and strength; mental energy, your focus, clarity, and cognitive endurance; emotional energy, your mood, positivity, and emotional stability; spiritual energy, your sense of purpose and alignment with your values. Shi Heng Yi explains that when one area of energy is depleted, it affects all others. For example, poor sleep physical can ruin your concentration mental, lower your mood emotional, and make you question your goals spiritual. One of the first steps in mastering energy management is self-awareness. You need to start observing your daily patterns. What activities give you energy? What drains you? What time of day are you most productive? Which people leave you feeling inspired and which leave you feeling exhausted? By answering these questions, you begin to identify the energy leaks in your life. Energy management is also about prioritization and boundaries. Not every task deserves your attention. Not every conversation deserves your emotional involvement. Shi Heng Yi teaches that you must protect your energy with the same vigilance as a warrior guarding the gates of a temple. This means learning to say no to distractions, toxic people, time-wasting habits, and emotional dramas that pull you off course. On a practical level, managing physical energy involves simple but non-negotiable fundamentals. Sleep. Prioritize deep, restful sleep every night. Your body repairs itself, your brain processes information, and your emotional state resets during sleep. Skipping this is like trying to drive a car on an empty tank. Nutrition. Eat foods that fuel you, not those that drain you. Too much sugar, processed food, or caffeine can give short bursts of energy but leave you with crashes later. Shi Heng Yi emphasizes mindful eating, being aware of how different foods affect your body and mood. Movement. Regular physical exercise doesn't just build strength, it generates energy. It boosts circulation, oxygenates your cells, and releases endorphins that enhance your emotional state. Even short walks, stretching, or breathing exercises can recharge your energy quickly. Mental energy management is just as crucial. Shi Heng Yi highlights the importance of mental focus and clarity. This means reducing multitasking, scheduling time for deep work, and creating mental space through practices like meditation and mindfulness. Your brain is not a machine designed for endless input. Overloading it with information, social media, news, endless notifications creates mental fatigue and decision paralysis. Another often overlooked area is emotional energy management. Carrying resentment, anger, or unresolved emotional conflict acts like a constant drain on your vitality. Shi Heng Yi encourages regular emotional check-ins. If you notice lingering negative emotions, address them, whether through journaling, meditation, or difficult but necessary conversations. Release emotional blockages before they deplete your drive. Also, remember that people affect your energy field. Spend time with those who uplift, encourage, and challenge you to grow. Minimize time with those who criticize, complain, or constantly focus on negativity. The energy you absorb from others will impact your mood, motivation, and productivity more than you realize. Environmental factors also play a role. Your physical space influences your energy state. A cluttered, messy environment creates mental fog. A clean, organized and inspiring space energizes you. Pay attention to light, air, noise levels, and even colors in your surroundings. Lastly, spiritual energy is the deeper fuel that keeps you going when all else fails. This comes from having a sense of purpose, aligning your daily actions with your core values, and feeling connected to something larger than yourself. Shi Heng Yi often speaks about the importance of aligning your actions with your life's mission. When your work feels meaningful, your energy levels naturally rise. In summary, managing your energy is not about doing more, but about doing the right things with the right state of mind and body. It's about conserving your power, refueling regularly, and investing your energy into what truly matters. When people imagine achieving great things, whether it's building a successful business, transforming their body, mastering a new skill, or finding inner peace, they often picture big, dramatic actions. They think of huge leaps, overnight changes, and moments of sudden breakthrough. But Shi Heng Yi teaches a truth that's often overlooked and yet incredibly powerful. Consistency beats intensity. Small, deliberate steps taken every day create far more transformation than sporadic bursts of extreme effort. Consistency is the quiet, patient force that moves mountains. It's the principle of showing up day after day, even when progress feels slow or invisible. Shi Heng Yi reminds us that mastery in any area, whether physical, mental, or emotional, is not built through occasional inspiration, but through regular practice. Let's take an example from his Shaolin training. Monks don't practice martial arts once a week with explosive effort and then rest for 6 days. They train every single day, often for hours at a time, repeating the same moves over and over. Why? Because true skill is embedded into muscle memory through repetition. The body and mind synchronize over time through consistency, not intensity. This principle applies to every area of life. If you want physical health, it's about daily movement, not a single brutal workout once a month. If you want emotional stability, it's about practicing mindfulness and gratitude every day, not just when life feels overwhelming. If you want professional success, it's about taking small steps toward your goal every day, not just working non-stop during moments of panic or deadline pressure. If you want to learn a new language, instrument, or skill, it's about 20 minutes of focused learning every day, not 8 hours in one weekend. Shi Heng Yi often speaks about the compound effect. Tiny actions may seem insignificant in the short term, but over time, they build unstoppable momentum. Imagine placing a single drop of water on a rock. That one drop won't make a dent, but millions of drops, consistently over time, will carve through solid stone. Consistency also builds trust, not just trust from others, but trust in yourself. Every time you follow through on a small promise to yourself, you reinforce the belief that you are someone who keeps going. This inner trust becomes the foundation of your confidence. It eliminates self-doubt because you have daily proof that you are committed to your path. Another vital element Shi Heng Yi highlights is that consistency helps you overcome resistance. There will always be days when you don't feel like doing the work. Days when you're tired, unmotivated, discouraged, or distracted. But when you build consistency, your actions become automatic, less dependent on mood and more driven by habit. You don't ask yourself, do I feel like doing this today? You simply do it because it's part of your identity. Furthermore, consistency creates progress you can measure. When you show up daily, you accumulate small wins. You see tangible improvements. You build positive momentum. Even if you stumble one day, the power of consistency makes it easier to bounce back because the habit is already embedded in your lifestyle. Shi Heng Yi also warns against the trap of perfectionism. Many people quit because they miss a day, make a mistake, or feel like their efforts aren't perfect. But consistency doesn't mean being perfect. It means getting back on track quickly after setbacks. It's about minimizing gaps between actions and building a rhythm that your body and mind recognize. In addition, consistency simplifies decision making. When you've built a daily habit, you remove mental debate. You don't waste energy wondering, should I do this today? The decision was already made when you committed to the path. Your energy goes into doing, not debating. Another powerful insight Shi Heng Yi shares is that consistency creates identity shifts. At first, you're someone who's trying to become fit, focused, or disciplined. But after weeks and months of showing up, you stop trying. You become that person, your actions, your mindset, your lifestyle. They all align with your new identity. Consistency also attracts results naturally. Opportunities, breakthroughs, and progress often appear as byproducts of steady action. It's like planting seeds every day. You may not see the plant growing above the soil immediately, but beneath the surface, roots are spreading, getting stronger, preparing for the moment of visible breakthrough. Finally, consistency builds emotional resilience. The act of showing up daily teaches you how to navigate boredom, fatigue, discouragement, and self-doubt. Every time you push through resistance, you grow mentally stronger. In the philosophy of Shi Heng Yi, consistency is not a chore. It is a form of discipline, self-respect, and long-term mastery. It's the daily decision to align your actions with your goals, one small step at a time. So now that we've explored these 10 powerful principles, drawn from the timeless teachings of Shi Heng Yi and generations of Shaolin wisdom, the question is no longer, can you get what you want? The real question is, are you willing to become the person who deserves it? Success, fulfillment, peace, strength, all of it is within your reach. But only if you're willing to apply these truths with commitment, consistency, and courage. Remember, clarity gives you direction, discipline keeps you moving forward, discomfort grows your resilience, mindfulness keeps you grounded, responsibility gives you power, energy fuels your journey. Consistency creates lasting transformation. You don't have to wait for the perfect day, the perfect mood, or the perfect opportunity. The only thing you need is to start today with what you have, where you are, and who you are right now. Because at the end of the day, the journey is yours, the discipline is yours, the transformation is yours, and ultimately, the victory will be yours too. Thank you.